He chose a direction, and his steps only slowed as he reached an open door. Music spilled out of it. A peek inside showed chaos. So much chaos. Enough he yearned to grab a broom and sweep a clear path. His nose wobbled again with an itch. Whoever lived here had a cat or a dog, maybe both. This might get ugly. Hopefully he could do this interview quick. He knocked lightly on the open portal. No one replied. "Hello?" He called, but the music masked his presence, and he wasn't about to shout over it. He stepped over the threshold and glanced around. A basic layout. Living room combined with dining and kitchen. A large window at the far end provided natural light. He noted the couch with its cushions on the floor, which made his left shoulder lift and lock. What kind of slob lived here? The owner of the kitchen had decided to use the counter as a pantry, with several open cereal boxes marching along, a bowl of fruit big enough to feed a family, and dishes in the sink. His other shoulder tried to hunch. This mess wasn't his problem. He took in more details, from the pizza box on what might be a coffee table, hard to tell with the bottles, cans, and game remotes covering it. The televisions took up an entire wall, a big central flat screen flanked by 4 smaller ones. There were doors on the other half of the apartment. The one closest to where he stood was probably a closet. The one with clothes spilling out of it, possibly the laundry. So much laundry. Stepping carefully, he made his way through the tornado-stricken apartment. Surely the owner was here, given the open door. He narrowly avoided stepping on a thong, a tiny scrap of light blue lace fabric. The tickle grew stronger, and yet the place didn't smell. Not badly, at least. Something scented the air, rather pleasant, actually. He moved past the underpants and the torn open box of snack cakes to the door past the horrifying laundry. He found the bouncing ass when he glanced through the next door. A nice ass. He remembered the driver's license picture. Head down, ass in the air, scrabbling for the sticky note that had fallen out of the sheaf of papers in her hand, the woman peeked between her legs, upside down. Her hair was a dark skein that tumbled, her eyes rimmed in thick lashes, and her brows nicely defined. She eyed him, probably admired the fine crease of his slacks compared to her rather ratty attire. Her jeans needed to be replaced, given the number of holes. "Who let you in?" she asked, still not straightening. Part of her buttocks peeked from the slit across it. Her panties, like the one pair he'd seen, were obviously not full-bottomed, if she wore any. He looked away. "The door was wide open, and no one answered when I called out." "Are you the IRS fellow?" she asked, reaching for another sticky note on the sole of her shoe. Retrieving it, she unfolded herself, though not very far, as she only stood just over 5 feet, and looked up at him. She was tiny, tight, and somehow in his space, his bubble. He took a step back. "Are you Melly Golden Eyes?" "Depends on who's looking." "I'm from the IRS." "According to my letter, you're early." He tapped his watch. 2 p.m. on the nose." "Haven't you heard of being fashionably late?" "We have an appointment." "I know, which is why I was organizing my stuff." She swept a hand to show all kinds of papers spread on the bed. "Ta-da!" He glanced at the pile, then her. "You can't be serious. That's not organized." "Are you sure? Because it's all in one place."